All right. Did I just do this whole entire thing with no volume? That's crazy. That's crazy. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Anyways, I talked about 15 minutes just now on Raw, and y'all couldn't fucking hear me. That's crazy. Thanks for the heads up, Chris. Thanks for your heads up. But man, I said a lot of shit, man. Let's go back to the top. All right. Listen, man. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, opened up the match, opened up the night. Can you still can't hear me? You still can't hear me? Hello? You should be able to hear me now. You can hear me now? All right. That's crazy. I went the entire time, but appreciate you reaching out to me. I gotta remember to put the mic on as before I do this. But thank you. All right, let me go take this from the top. Listen, man. First and foremost, apologize for the technical difficulties with the microphone if anybody's listening. But like, subscribe, do other good things, follow us. I appreciate all the love and support. But I'm gonna take it from the top, bro. Let's go. So the Raw started off with let's just start with they start off with the entrances. When they go backstage and they show the people arriving to the arena, all that stuff I appreciate because it kind of gives a feel like a sports atmosphere when we before a basketball game or before a football game you see people arriving to the arena. I think that's cool. But right away we get Sami Zayn promo. He comes out to the ring and cuts a really good promo. Talking about why he defends his championship and why he's going to be defending his championship against Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. And he's made this analogy to the competitors in the match being the mind, body, and soul. He said that Chad Gable's a manipulator, and he's the mind. He says that Bronson Reed is the body. He's the massive muscle in this, and he's potentially a big threat. But he's the soul. And whenever he's betting, he's like, I'm always going to bet on the soul to overcome all that and the spirit. So I really fuck with that promo. Sami Zayn is an awesome promo. No matter what you give him, he makes something incredible out of it. And I'm glad that this angle is finally getting the shine it deserves, I'm glad that the Intercontinental Championship, because to be honest with you, after WrestleMania, this storyline on Raw, you got, Seth is gone, CM Punk got injured, I get it. We got Drew and CM Punk coming down the line, but this was the most interesting thing for me personally because I think this had the most story right after WrestleMania that was actual tangible. Chad Gable trained Sami Zayn to win that championship at WrestleMania against Gunther. He helped Sami Zayn officially dethrone the longest reigning Intercontinental champion. That's nothing that you can't take away from Sami, and Chad was a part of it. So Chad does come out after this promo with Sami, and he spits his own facts. He's like, listen, you called me manipulative. No, I'm not manipulative. I'm a little bit too, he said, I'm too nice. I'm too nice to you because I trained you and you won the Intercontinental champion. You're the reason, I'm the reason you're an Intercontinental champion. And then he said, I'm too nice to these clowns behind me, which was Maxine Dupree, Akira Tozawa, and Otis. So he's saying he's too nice. And that now that he's not, he's gonna, use his power to win the championship come King and Queen of the Ring. That led to Sami Zayn, challenging him to a match. They have a match. And what my biggest takeaway from this match was that Chad Gable has amazing heel work, man. What he's doing and how he bounces his character off of his stablemates, Maxine, Akira Tozawa, especially Otis, it just garners a lot of heat, So at one point during the match, he has it so that Maxine or Kirichizawa or Otis can interfere in the match, but they all declined, or they were going to, hit Sammy or interfere because he's distracting the referee, and they didn't do it. So what he said is like, yo, Kirichizawa, Maxine, get out of here. He did the whole referee thing and threw him out as if he had any authority, but they ended up leaving. Otis had a chance. He didn't take the chance. So Chad Gable smacked the shit out of him second week in a row. And, the crowd gets a huge reaction. They're booing. So Chad grabs the Intercontinental Championship, goes in the ring, goes to attack Sammy with it. Sammy catches him in an exploder, hits him with the exploder in the corner. And while Sammy then, retreats to hit him with the hula kick, goes to the opposite corner, Otis hits him with a clothesline. And the ref sees the Intercontinental Championship. She takes it out the ring. While she's distracted, Otis hits Sammy with the clothesline. That leaves an opening for Gable to hit the Chaos Theory German suplex. And he pulls out the victory, So shout out to Chad Gable. He's doing great stuff. I'm really interested in this triple threat because I think low-key this has the potential to be the match of the night if they give it time. So it's Chad, Bronson Reed, Sami Zayn. I love all those guys as a competitors, so we'll see, what turns up with that. But that led to a sick Io Sky package. She was underwater and she's talking Japanese, spitting facts about how she's trying to be the queen of the ring. I love what they're doing with Io. I love when they have the packages to show the characters a little bit more in depth. That led to after that, Braun Breaker made an entrance. Now, let me just say this because I've been listening to this for weeks now since he's been on the main roster, or months I should say, and I hate, with an exclamation point, I hate Braun Breaker's entrance music. I don't know why they changed his theme from NXT. Don't know why they thought it was necessary to switch it up and do something different with it, but it's some generic ass guitar riff that I cannot fucking stand. So change his music back if you can. Hopefully, we'll see. Or maybe it'll grow on me. I don't know, but probably not. So Braun Breaker has been used. I'm not going to say poorly, but they're protecting him clearly. But I like the way they're telling the story with him in the show. As they're protecting Braun Breaker, he's getting more and more frustrated. And he wasn't put in the King of the Ring. He's been facing jobbers since fucking February. Now SmackDown, then he gets dropped to the Raw, facing jobbers, and he ain't doing shit with anybody. So his frustration came to a boiling point tonight. And I thought this was one of the best parts of the show tonight. Braun Breaker was on a fucking warpath. So this led to so he had a batch with a jobber. He ends up cleaning the jobber out of his shoes with a spear and pretty much destroys him. And that so much that the ref has to call the match off. After the match, he doesn't stop. He takes the guy out with a chair with his head on the freaking steel steps. He's just snapped. Braun Breaker is like, listen, you guys are giving me scrubs. You're having me fight guys named fucking Kale in the ring when he's one of the most dominant wrestlers in the business right now. He could hit the ropes faster than a fucking, locomotive, man. So he's just like, listen, man, give me more competition. You kept me out of the tournament. He's frustrated. I like the dynamic between him and Adam Pearce. He's pretty much blaming Adam Pearce for his situation, which is rightfully so. Shit. If I was mad, if him, I'll be mad too. So that jobber took an ambulance ride, and Braun Breaker wasn't done. But after that, it was actually Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyria, which is one of my matches of the night. I told you last week, Lyra Valkyria, incredible performer, very sharp, very smooth, very precise, and we all know Io can get busy as well. They had great chemistry, and during the match, Lyra kept stopping Io from hitting the over the moonsault finish, and that left room for it just kept on extending the match, and I think kind of like made room for Lyra to sneak in a victory with a kind of taking advantage of a reversal from Io. But she took the legs, got the victory. So that means that this semifinal match, Lyra Valkyrie goes to the finals into the Queen of the Ring, and we'll see who she competes with on Friday, between Nia Jax and Bianca Belair. After that, we had Ilya Dragunov having a promo. He didn't mention Gunther's name, but before he could finish, Ricochet interrupted and said, "Hey, yo, bro, we have some unfinished business." But even before Ricochet could finish, Braun Breaker hits him with a spear into the equipment. And Braun Breaker, like I said, is on a warpath. He's extremely upset for his positioning on the roster, how they're treating him, and he's going to take it out on everybody backstage. So, shout out to Braun Breaker. If I was him, I would be mad too. Like I said. Moving forward, they got a Gunther promo in a vacant arena against Jey Uso to promote the main event. He did give Jey Uso some props about being a showman, which is true. Jey Uso right now is one of the best showmen in the business. But he said, when that bell rings, I'm superior to you. You know, it doesn't matter about the entrance, but when that bell rings, I'm superior. So that was his statement. And there was no lies told in that promo. Gunther's he's really good at, just telling it like it is. Damian Priest had a segment backstage with Judgment Day, telling Carlito, like, hey, man, you got to earn your keep around here. And he also, gave some encouragement to Finn and JD for the tag team title match against Awesome Truth, which was the next match. Now, Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus Awesome Truth. Let me preface this by saying this. I'm extremely happy for Miz and R-Truth for this moment they're having. I love the fact that these veterans who kind of can get overlooked sometimes get this run as tag team, and people are happy that they're tag team and they're both baby faces and they get to do their comedy shtick. And, but I can't wait until they drop these titles, me personally. During the match, this was the only match during the night that I really wasn't feeling. And this is a title match. This is the, advertised title match. Finn Balor and JD versus Miz and R-Truth. It just didn't hit for me. During the match, they're doing a bunch of John Cena moves. Got the whole John Cena thing going with R-Truth. The you can't see me and all that stuff. I wasn't feeling it, man. The antics I don't vibe with, but I get it because the fans get involved, fan interaction. Awesome Truth gets to sell their merch. They get to come out and say, what's up? There's a lot of time for the fan to be interactive during the night, and it can be a fun environment. But for me, I didn't give a damn. I want to see a good match between Awesome Truth and another tag team. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a tag team match to have a really good match. I think they're both capable of it, but these jokes and antics and R-Truth saying, "Oh, I got Andre the Giant to have our back against Judgment Day tonight," and then ends up being Braun Strowman. It kind of is played out. Like I get it. Like he's a little bit wacky. Ooh, he doesn't know who he's talking to. He thinks he's Andre. He thinks DIY is DX. Like I get it, but it's not funny to me. Maybe it's funny to other people. And it's just cheap pops left and right. I want to see wrestling. I want to see them wrestle. I want to see a story. I want to see somebody. I want to see a tag team like the Creed brothers call them out on their bullshit. You guys are a joke. You guys are old. I want to see Creed brothers turn heel and say, listen, we are the new generation and we're going to expose you guys. Not that, they are any worse than Creed brothers, but I think the Creed brothers could use that as an angle to get a tag team title shot. And we'll see where things develop with them, so that's what I want to see. But I wasn't feeling that tag team match. Sonya Deville's back. Shout out to Sonya Deville. Welcome back. She's back from her knee injury, 9 months out. Seems like she'll be, she wants to work with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. We'll see how that pans out. Liv Morgan still beefing with Lyra and Becky. She decked Lyra backstage for causing the distraction when Becky punched her last week as revenge. Bronson Reed approached Sammy at the locker room. After that, Bronson Reed said, homeboy, listen, your time's up. Your time's coming up. He came to say, listen, in his words, he said, I'm about business, and violence is how he makes his money. So he's going to use his body to take that championship from him, man. Pretty much just talking his shit about Saudi Arabia coming up. So shout out to Bronson Reed. We'll see. But after that, Otis came and he apologized to Sami Zayn. Now this is the character building I like to see. The congruent storyline through where we see Sami Zayn talking to Otis almost as if he's talking to himself, his past self. And he says to Otis, I get it. I'll accept your apology because you're a good man. But I've been where you've been. And we all know Sammy's history with being manipulated by a bloodline. He said, listen, when you stop listening to him and start listening to them, pointing like me and the crowd, is when things will change, and that was a cool little backstage segment that I like, because whenever you have these characters feel like they're real back there, and you keep their stories going on from the past, and you make references to them to the past, I love that kind of stuff. After that, we had a Becky and Liv promo. I'm just gonna say I like Revenge Liv. Revenge Liv is probably my favorite Liv. Becky made a joke about Liv finally finding her purpose after like 10 years. And she's known her purpose, since she first got in the ring. And that, Becky's always great with the promos, but, Liv held her own. And she definitely fits the heel role right now. Like, she's definitively a heel. She, Becky wanted to fight. She's like, nah, I'll see you on Saturday. After this, we had a tag team fatal four-way for the number one contendership for the Women's Tag Team Championship. That was Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Kaden and Katana versus Dakota and Kyrie versus Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree. I liked the match. It was fun. It was fun for me. This is a fun match. I'm still a big fan of Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Like, they haven't had much character development, but whenever they're in the ring, they put on a show, like every single time. And they were probably one of the, if not the most active tag teams in this match. Go back and check it out. But the victory went to Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. They secured their number one contendership, but it was a really fun match. Go check it out. After that, Love the Kaiser was backstage still talking shit about Sheamus. Apparently, we're going to get a Love the Kaiser Sheamus feud in the future. We'll see. And then we get Chad Gable talking with the Creed brothers. He's choking with them backstage. Otis comes to interrupt and tells him that he apologized to Sami Zayn. Chad says he needs Otis, and he forces him to say no matter what. In the background, Sonya is seen talking with Shayna and Zoe Stark. So all that backstage stuff is another thing I'm a big fan of, when they show backstage angles and they show some stuff going on in the background of the shot. And then we had the main event, which was Jey Uso versus Gunther. Jey Uso's promo was backstage that led to him coming out to the entrance, and it was fire, bro. I love these shots they're doing with the entrances into the ring and going through Gorilla, but in particularly it being Jey Uso, because this man has the crowd in the palm of his hands. Jey Uso is fucking lit right now. And when he goes out there and the music hits and he's out there, we're doing the hands and everything, they're right there with him. So shout out to Jey Uso, and this match was really good. Gunther targeted the right arm of Jey Uso and drove him into the ring post, steel steps, the barricade a couple of times, and pretty much was beating him down the entire match. Jey Uso was eating the chops. And so, yeah, he was just taking a beating the entire match. But there was one point during the match, Michael Cole said, he said, ask Steve Austin and Triple H what it means to be King of the Ring. And I'm like, is that they're the only ones? Because like he said, it could change their careers. Like, it could change your career. I'm like, oh, really? Ask Billy Gunn what the King of the Ring could do. Ask Xavier Woods what the King of the Ring could do. Ask Wade Barrett what the King of the Ring. It hasn't really been big deal since Booker, honestly. So that's why I was like talking to Chris, if you're here, I was talking to Chris during the podcast, like, if Jay wins this, what's it really doing for him? Maybe this can, do more for somebody else. But, and that being Gunther. So that being said, finishing the match, Jay was getting the beating the entire match, but he was eating those chops. Like, he was eating them, and he, Eventually, he got like a super kick in. He hit Gunther with a spear, but Gunther inadvertently hit the referee on the way down. Jay hit the Uso splash, but the ref was out and couldn't make the count in time. Gunther immediately gets up, starts wailing on Jay, chokes him out, match is over, and Gunther's going to be going to the finals. And the show ended like that. It was like 11 o'clock on the dot when he choked him out. So just the feed just went out. So that's pretty much how Raw went. It was fun. It was some good matches, some subtle storytelling, and I think in this time frame between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, or WrestleMania even Money in the Bank, there's going to be a lot of subtle storytelling. So if you don't mind that, these have been some great shows, but this is the first show that had more. Like the past two shows had less storytelling because it was focused on the King of the Ring tournament. This one only had two semifinal matches, so they had a lot more time to get to other stories and build to other things, and have different matches and that don't revolve around the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. But at the same time, they had 3 hours, so they had a lot of time to film. But I like where we're going. I think I love what we're doing with Braun Breaker, him just showing his intensity. I'm really excited for the triple threat match going on with Sammy, Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable, like the evolution of Chad Gable's character. Drew McIntyre did appear for a backstage segment. Didn't say much that we needed to talk about. But the whole vibe of the night was that there was just chaos backstage. Raul Mendoza or Cruz del Toro got attacked, and you have the jobber getting taken on the Bronson Reed spearing Ricochet, all types of shit going on, and it was fun. It was fun, all in all. So what I want to see moving forward after Saudi is I want to see more from Bronson Reed. We got to get this thing going with Drew and Damian Priest. And depending on who wins the Intercontinental Championship, we'll see what the next mid-card competitor will look like, whether it's Ricochet, Dragunov, Braun Breaker, and I know we got other guys around. So that's all I got to say about the show. Congratulations to Gunther and Lyra Valkyrie, two international champions that will be going to the finals for King and Queen of the Ring. We will see who will compete against them in the finals at Saudi on Friday. I'm not sure if that show's going to be taped, but I'll be watching it on Friday and coming back here on Friday for a Smack Talk recap. So that's all I got to say tonight. Thank y'all for watching and staying tuned. Thank you for checking out. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me or not. And I'll be back on Friday, guys. Peace.